You're listening to Larry and Kathie Radio.
Rise and shine.
Larry and Kathie Radio. Every morning.
It's Monday.
Yeah.
Mondays are hard.
I know, but
I don't even think I had a weekend.
I know they go too fast.
Yes.
And especially because we had like a friend with a birthday thing. And so there goes a big chunk of one of your days free.
Totally. It was like 3 hours we were there hanging out.
Well, yeah, but the window was like noon to 6.
Yeah,
and I'm
what?
like,
No,
right.
I won't be there 6 hours.
Right.
And one of the birthdays is my husband. I'm still not going to be there 6 hours.
No, but that was fun. That was awesome. Shout out to Aldo. Shout out to Nikki.
Shout out to JJ.
And whoever got the mystery room, whoever's room that was, in a mystery hotel we've never been to.
Never heard of this hotel. It was crazy, but whatever.
It was nice.
We're not going to tell everybody about it now.
All right, so the reason that you each have a big giant piece of chocolate cake in front of
Doesn't
you
it look fantastic,
Smells
Bolty?
good.
It sure does.
is because the night before last I was up and I had like Chris and I went upstairs to go take a nap. And I was
You went
like,
upstairs upstairs to your bedroom.
right.
Yeah, okay.
So I went up there to take a nap, and then Chris kind of like slept for an hour and then got up, and I must have slept for like 4 hours or something like that.
Okay.
So then when it got later,
You were awake.
I was awake. So I put on Netflix and I'm watching 2 baking shows, that like baking show challenges, and it was like, man, it looked amazing. These one people like made this, like you would take your frosting and make a design of flowers, and then you would pour this cake on it.
What?
And then you would roll the cake like this, and it would have the design that you had put on the flowers.
Okay.
It looked amazing.
So
And
it was like a log.
Right,
a log,
and inside
so
it was
you
like a
cut
custard or whatever
Ooh,
you
cool.
wanted. It was amazing. So then I watched that, and then I watched some other chick make a cake, and I had already been jonesing, like in the, I already
For a
had some of
cake?
the ingredients already here. So then I was like, well, I'm just going to do it. And instead of like, I just went big on it,
Yeah, you did.
And so I'm up at like...
You had all these ingredients in your house
Well,
at 3
because I
a.m.?
planned on making the cake
Gotcha.
eventually,
Okay.
so it's just box cake mix.
This is my favorite cake mix,
Right,
actually.
it's
The yellow
Duncan
cake.
Hines yellow with chocolate.
Chocolate frosting. It's
Right.
the best.
So then I was like, I was baking, and right, and so then it wouldn't. They wouldn't come out of their little individual things. So
I
I was
hate
like,
that.
damn it! And I sprayed it with the stuff. So then, like all of a sudden, I finally got them out. Used like a spatula to get them out of their thing, and then I didn't pay attention to it when I was setting. I frosted the first one.
Yes.
It was perfect, and then I set the second one on, and I was a little bit to
Off.
the right.
Yeah,
and so
I
then when I started frosting it on one side, it looked perfect, and then it started being an overlap on the other.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just fix it with frosting. And then as I'm frosting it, a big tear in the cake happened. I was like, oh no. So then I put that piece back, and I spent like half the frosting trying to spackle.
Where's that piece?
I don't know where that is. I was trying to spackle that back together. And then so this was the end result. So
Well, no, it's
yeah,
good.
you guys, now I want you to
Okay.
taste it and then
Yeah.
judge me like I'm on one of those shows.
Okay, all
So you have
right.
to like really go, I like the
Yeah.
firmness.
Okay, let's go.
Texture looks there.
Now, one of you might have gotten the open piece, one of the open sides. So
Mine's the open piece.
okay, so I had saran wrap on there.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna say it's the chocolate is very good.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And it's not. It's like a perfect amount of it.
Right, because I really went big. I got 2 large
Duncan Hines.
Duncan Hines,
Yeah.
with an extra.
And the cake itself, it's really good.
It's moist.
Is it
Yeah.
moist?
As much as I hate using that word,
I don't know why.
it's moist.
because she used to be a phone sex operator, and she would say that 100 times a day.
Yeah, I'm as moist as a Duncan Hines cake.
All the guys were like, "Are you eating?"
Maybe.
Maybe does that turn you on? There won't be extra.
You're all, I'm not paying for you to eat. You're all muting it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, I'm got into the baking
Bolty
mode.
can't eat sweets early in the morning.
I know.
I'm more normal.
Because they just pass your plate.
Larry's
over
probably
here.
been up since 4, so this is
Well,
lunch
these were
now.
made night before last.
Okay.
But okay, so did you like it? Would you?
We need milk.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
It definitely needs milk.
Yeah,
But it's the perfect amount of frosting.
Yeah,
I mean, like
ratio.
you really
2 giant
went
cans.
there with that
2 giant
again.
cans.
He wants to repeat that again. I gave 2 giant cans.
And I guess
I'm
you're
almost
really,
done with my piece, and it was huge, and both he hasn't even.
He's a bird.
Once again, I'm moist.
I was gonna say, you guys can like take your piece home with you, whatever, unless you want to just eat it. But so it was good, yeah, huh?
Yeah, very good.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank Mrs. Duncan Hines or whoever that person
Well,
is.
I think you're going on to the next round,
Oh, yay!
Yeah, definitely. Moving on.
Cupcake Wars.
and the next round will be.
It'll be.
What do you want, Bolte?
I want to try that log cake you were talking
Oh yeah,
Yes.
the next round will be the log cake. See if you graduate to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one sounds harder.
as long as I'm not on one of those shows where they're like, we want you to bake a cake using beef jerky, beer,
Right.
and raisins.
I know,
You're like,
right?
what? Change the channel.
Next.
Yeah, that's not you.
Yeah.
You're listening to Larry and Kathie Radio.
do it.
Bueno,
Yes. Do you carry Mexican cookies?
yeah.
And what are those called?
¿De cuál quería?
Are they called bizcochitos?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that again?
For $1.
Oh, sí. And how do you say bizcochito?
Ajá.
Can you say it?
Cinnamon,
Okay.
sugar,
Uh-huh.
grajea
Ooh.
y granillo.
And what are those called?
Okay.
And what are those called? What do you call those? Bizcochitos?
Sí,
Can you say it?
sí.
Bizcochito. Say it. Say bizcochito. Hello? Hola?
Bizcochito, they used to call me Hito. I just stopped eating mito, and that's good for my libido. Bizcochito is a cookie for Latinos, but it's not my favorito, and instead it's not for me though. Bizcochito.
Okay.
And what are those called? What do you call those?
For $1.
Bizcochitos?
Sí,
Can you say it?
sí.
Bizcochito. Say it. Say bizcochito. How do you pronounce that again?
Ya. Sí.
You say it. Go ahead. You say bizcochito. Hola.
Bizcochito, they used to call me Hito. I just stopped eating mito, and that's good for my libido. Bizcochito is a cookie for Latinos, but it's not my favorito, and instead it's not for me though. Bizcochito.
Cinnamon,
Okay.
sugar,
Uh huh.
grajea
Ooh.
y granillo.
And what are those called?
Okay.
Hey, real quick, I had posted on Facebook that I was making the cake.
Yes.
And a lot of people, I was like at 10:30, and I said, "Is it too late to make a cake?" And of course, every single person was like, "No,
Nope. Yeah, right.
no,
Get to making
no,
it."
right?"
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, "Can we have some? Can we come over?" I was like, "Let me look at your profile picture."
Right, exactly. Let me see what you are.
Right.
Girls not allowed.
Right, exactly. No, you can't bring your wife. Anyway,
And no, you can't take her a piece.
Definitely not.
no, he's cute enough. He could take her a piece.
So there's these new contact lenses that we can get. Do you
Okay.
you don't wear glasses? Both
I got
of you?
LASIK.
No.
No, I don't either.
Dr. Cutarelli.
Yeah, I know. I need to go back to him.
I
now.
need to get fine tuned too.
Yeah, 'cause mine's
there's one thing
slipped
that
a little.
yeah. But he's really good about that.
No,
He will
right. I mean, it's
fine-tune
a
it.
lifetime.
No, what he took me from to where I'm at now.
Oh, no, it's
like,
amazing.
do not rob me. I don't know what you look like.
Right.
Before, I would have been like, it was a blurry person. It was very blurry, and they just looked like a blur.
So many times I was in the car with you, and I was like, he sees that we're close to the curb. Oh, we're on the curb. or the parking garage.
Or I was like, check him out, and you're like, he's a meth head.
Right.
And I'm like, huh?
You would.
Are you sure? sure?
He
I'm
would.
squinting.
He
Are you
made
sure?
us go back around the. Has he ever done that to you, Bolty, when somebody
yeah.
was hot walking or at the bus stop or
No,
something? And all
I
of a
don't
sudden,
do that anymore.
Well, anymore,
You
but
see
back
this?
in the day
I'm a
you
married
did. I know
man.
you are, but back in the
No.
day,
I know, but I mean now
Lord.
I'm not around going
I'm
around
like,
the
we're
block.
really
guy.
going around the block for a meth head, and you
Well,
were
I
like,
didn't
he
know he was-
wasn't. Are you sure?
Here's the thing. You guys benefited just as much from my bad eyesight. You all look beautiful for those years. I all thought you were like 20 years younger than you are. I was like, stunning. Every day, just stunning.
Just stunning. I mean, how do they do it? Ugh. But anyways, these new contacts are out there. They get darker when you go outside, so they do like what
Oh, that's
glasses
crazy.
do. You know how
that's
some
cool.
of them have.
So you don't have to squint. Like all of a sudden
They
wow.
just switch with the lighting, which is kind of cool.
That's very Terminator.
Very Terminator. But
Wow.
then again, they also make you look like you have weird, freaky alien eyes.
Right, because then your whole eye looks like one big pupil.
Or somebody possessed. But
Right.
when you think about it, I kind of like that.
Yeah,
I think
that's cool.
That'd be cool, right?
That is insane that they can do that too.
No, totally. So if you're one of those people that needs the contact lenses, there's this technology you can get. It'll be filtering the UV light, so you'll have like sunglasses without having to put on sunglasses.
And then you're like, and then come inside and it's normal. Go outside and look like a giant doll.
Right.
Look like a giant stuffed
Right.
animal.
People start screaming.
Right. Kids gather around. They think you're a mascot. That's crazy. Well, and the thing is, it's like, it's like a couple years from now, it's like, if you wore these contact
Yes,
lenses,
right.
you can sue.
There was an old school
Permadamage.
movie that my father loved. But it was something with Steve Martin, and it was about glasses that he made, and he made everybody like get cross-eyed from the glasses. So he made all this money off the glasses,
And then he got sued.
And then everyone was getting cross-eyed off of him, and then he got sued, and all he was left with was like a lamp and a
That's
bathrobe that he had
hilarious.
on. But yeah,
Right, you never
he's getting
know.
kicked out of his big mansion. He's like, all I need is this lamp and this dog.
Yeah, I think I remember that movie.
Right, it was really
something-
old school,
Yeah,
though.
it was like something where he was like, I invented pizza in a cup.
He was an idiot.
Right, he was always trying to invent something or something like that.
But anyways, okay. So, I just got back from New York City.
New York City.
I was gonna say L.A., but
Yeah.
New
That's
York
how
City.
Hispanic people say New York City.
New York
City.
And all they have everywhere. It doesn't matter what bathroom you go into. They all have the blowers. The
Hand blowers.
Yeah, right. Well, a new study just came out that says those hand dryers
Are dirty and filthy.
are spraying feces all over your hands.
Okay, thank you. Here's what I was going to say. Because they have those at DIA and those
Yes.
are hardcore ones.
Yeah.
But the thing
The
is...
ones you drop your hands
Right.
down in.
But it's like that operation game where you don't want to touch the sides. But then you inevitably do. And then it blows so hard that you know that all the germs that somebody didn't wash off
Yeah.
are still in there blowing around.
See, I never think that. I
Yeah.
think it blows so hard that the blue blows them way up into the air.
No,
but
but
technically,
if you didn't wash your hands like fully, or I don't
and
know.
a lot of people don't. They just
Some
give
just
them a
rinse.
once over and
Or-
then
yeah.
right. Well, new study coming out of the University of Connecticut says that the hand dryers are spraying feces all over your hands. So when someone flushes one of the toilets, it has nothing to do.
Oh, so they flush and then those
They
particles are
flush,
in the air.
the particles swirl into the air. The hand dryers suck them in, hold
then
on
you-
to them, keep them nice and warm, and then blow them right back onto you when you're the person going to blow dry your hands.
Right, and then you think they're clean, so now you're giving your kid a handful of jelly beans, and you're like licking something off their face.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I feel bad because I've actually I blow my hair dry with those things sometimes.
No,
like
for sure.
I've put Gianna's head right underneath it because she's been wet, and I've been like, just get right under the dryer. And, like I'm blowing feces onto her head.
yeah, we're better off killing trees.
Yeah, researchers say you should try to use the paper towels, which that sucks, but you
Yeah.
can't win that they
And then-
say it's better than flying feces.
Well, and then sometimes you got to go for ideally you want the thing that spits out the paper towel. That's bzzz, But then sometimes it's not that. So you're like, I guess I'll take my clean hands and use the dial on the side that everybody's touched.
Right, no.
Which defeats the purpose of what I just did.
And now
then
I'm about to go open the door.
Right, exactly. And then you're trying to, there's that little piece of paper, and if you could just pull it down and it's
Just
all
a little.
rip.
Yeah, rip.
Rip.
Good. I'm glad to know we all had the same experiences.
The
in those
same phobias.
Stupid bathrooms.
No, for sure. And I'm the same way, kind of like here or whatever, when you're prepping food or whatever. So like I really definitely go through way more paper towel than I should. Like if there was a show on people who are killing the planet quickly,
It's
it would be
you?
me because like those are the two things that I'm always like nervous when we get low on is toilet paper and paper towel.
Yes.
And so Chris is like, when he goes, he'll buy the 2-thing paper towel.
Right.
Are you insane?
Right. When you go, like I've seen your place when you've stocked.
Right.
You know,
And
like
it's-
upstairs in the
right,
laundry room. Like
right.
it looks like Armageddon could come at any moment and you're good for a year.
And screw that Selecticize.
What does that mean?
Those
Oh,
little
ones.
ones.
I hate that too.
Yeah, I
Right.
need a full
You think
sheet.
it's gonna be cool?
No,
but
no,
yeah,
no.
It doesn't
Cut
work
those
like
trees down. Cut them down. We don't want flying
That.
feces.
That's horrible.
Live from the Mile High City.
This is Larry and Kathie Radio with a side of Mike Bolte.
Thank you for calling Pilot. This is Pam. May I help you?
Hi, is this Cinnabon?
No, but I can help you with it.
Oh, okay. What do you mean? This is...
Well, it's in our store. We have
Oh.
Cinnabon in the store.
Okay, great. This is where my wife is headed. Her name is Irene, and she's been doing great. She's been working out. She's been dieting, except she's about to have a nervous breakdown and barge in there and buy some Cinnabons. So I'm trying to prevent her from doing that because she's going to wake up in the morning with such regret. So is there any way that you could help me by like either hiding the Cinnabons or locking the front door?
There's no way I can do that.
Can you prevent her from buying them?
Well,
Oh gosh, you don't understand what she's been through. She lost 78 pounds.
Wow.
And now she just had a setback. And she, her last words were, "I'm going to eat the out of those Cinnabons." Yeah. And then like,
all I can do is just say-
she grabbed a gallon of milk and made it to the car before I could even, she just was gone.
well, the only thing I can do, I can suggest, your husband just called and was concerned about you, and
You know what? I'll pay you $500 to deck her.
oh,
No, I'm kidding. No, just take her out at the feet.
she'll probably get me first.
Exactly. In fact, she probably might even think like you are a Cinnabon. No. I really appreciate any help. I am in the car en route right now to try to beat her there, and then if anything, I'm going to try to buy all of them if I can. How many things of Cinnabons do you have?
Well, we have boxes all over the store, plus the fresh ones.
How much are the fresh ones?
Or three. Well, shoot, how much? I'm not sure how much a 6-pack would be. Probably be about $12.
Well, I would give you my credit card right now. I'd like to buy all of them.
Well,
You don't understand. I mean, she's finally just starting to look hot. I mean, like I've been married to Jabba the Hutt the last couple years.
like I said, all I can do is talk to her. We'll just wait until you get here and say, "Well, he's on his way."
Gosh,
that
yeah.
might just stop her right there.
Exactly. I think she's just going to eat him right there in the store on the floor.
Okay, and what's her name?
Ruth.
Ruth. Okay,
Ruth.
I'll let Tristan know because he's over there in Cinnabon right now.
Oh man.
Okay.
That kid better watch his. She might plow right through him.
All right.
Yeah. If you can stop her, I'll be right there.
All righty.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Larry and Kathie Radio.
Rise and shine.
Larry and Kathie Radio. Every morning.
Let's talk about love.
Okay.
Oh, love.
Well, like I have to see love every day now during the show because of the new Kathie
God.
Bolte thing.
No
but it's
love.
hey, listen.
I mean, there's love.
Yeah,
There's love, Bolte.
there's love.
Right.
No, there's a little bit of love.
Oh, love that's left.
No.
It's left.
Yeah, but Kathie, I get why you're
Why?
torn with Bolte because he did go the Nancy Grace route.
So I was like, I have a chance.
No, but then he went the Cash Me Outside route. And if you really think about it, you're right in between Nancy Grace and Cash Me Outside.
I could be, right.
You were like the best of both of
Right,
them.
totally.
So this is going to work. That's why I'm fearful.
Right. You forget, though, I have a husband and kids. Right. Forget about
I'll
that.
watch the
Right.
husband and kids.
I mean, Bolte reminds me all the time how sad he is about it.
Look at me.
Okay, but I mean, I stalk Bolty on his social media. That's my only way to get close to him.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
oh, look at him. He's at another Rockies game.
Yeah.
How are you getting all these tickets to the Rockies game?
They're $4, and I live 2 blocks away. I just
Oh, that would
walk
do
over
it.
there.
$4.
$4.
You always look like you're not in the rock pile, though.
Oh no!
You're like in.
I sit in the good seats.
Oh, okay. So you get the rock pile
And then
tickets
I
and head on
ratchet out
over.
and
Okay.
Go down there, sneak down there.
Do you have to move when they go, these are our seats?
Yeah, we kind of see it coming. We just bounce around
Oh, okay.
Right.
to open seats around us. The Rockies right now, it's not like prime time summer where everybody wants to go, so there's plenty of room down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good.
So
Here
we-
I thought. I'm like, wow, Bolty's got the
No
connection.
way. I'm supposed to be in the outfield, way up there.
Way,
So
way
now-
there I am, way up there.
This will be the audio they play. They're like, you see, you're not doing your jobs.
Yeah.
Policing these
Right.
seats. These are
Look at this.
$125
This
seats.
is a kid. He's telling us about how he's using us. He's buying $4 and getting in these seats.
Yep.
Yeah, because you were like by first base.
Right
Yeah.
behind first base line.
Yeah,
just
that
like
was-
Oh my
probably
God.
20 rows up.
Yeah,
It was
I know.
Awesome.
He's
Kathy would kill to get to first base with you.
just one night while we're drinking. That's all.
By
I
the
want.
way, what is first base? Is first base
First-
kissing?
I
Yeah.
think kissing, yeah.
And
Right.
then second
But
base is
it might be French kissing.
okay. Second base
With some touching.
with some touching on the
I
outside
think.
of the clothes, maybe.
I'm thinking.
And then third base,
Third base is
Like hands and pants.
right. I think
Up the shirt.
Right.
and it could also be special kisses,
I
or
think
no?
I think it's involves oral. Right,
Okay,
Right.
So then home
home run is
is
right.
all the way. Okay.
Yeah, you're making it right.
Okay, yeah.
Totally. And it was funny because the other day, Parente, he doesn't, because everyone has their different first, second, thirds and all
Right,
that.
right.
So the other day, Parente was like, I'm a bunt hitter. And I was like, okay.
What does that even
You know,
mean?
like, so he likes to just do it real to.
Or you
hit
like kind of hit it, and everybody thinks it's going to go far,
Right, and
but
it
then
doesn't.
everybody has
right.
to run forward.
And I go, well, so you do a weak ass hit so that somebody else can go home. So if somebody else goes home, and he goes, "What are you talking about?"
Sacrifice.
I go, that's the purpose of the bunt hit
Right.
is we're letting somebody else do a home run, or
Right.
go to
Score.
home plate.
Right.
And he's like, oh, I didn't know that. I was like, you're an idiot. Like you're avoiding getting to first base so somebody else can totally go and score.
If he'd only asked Larry Ulibarri on sports, I mean, for God's sakes, he
Oh, I'm
lives
so-
2 blocks away.
I know.
He should have asked me.
He could have just asked you. Would have been a lot easier.
Exactly.
But it's
Every time
funny-
we talk sports, he and I, it's always about Tim Tebow
Yeah, right. It's just one topic.
Jock
one
straps.
topic.
and why he doesn't have a girlfriend still.
Still, isn't it weird?
Awkward.
Although he's having some success in the minor league.
Yeah, he's hitting homers.
Right, but
and
again,
the-
it's minor league.
Who?
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
Oh, he's not
playing
playing
baseball.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's trying. He's been trying this for like 4 years or something. Hasn't it been a while?
I think this is his second season.
Okay.
I love him.
You do.
I think he is for my team.
I do.
And I will be there to support him when he finally deals with
Gets
it.
right with God.
Or gets wrong with him.
Yeah.
So speaking of though, like first base and stuff, kissing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How many people? This is the question today. How many people will you kiss before you find the one?
Ooh.
Now,
I don't-
Belty, have you found the? I mean, you've had the one. You might have lost her and not be with her
Have you
anymore.
had the one yet? No.
Have you had the one? Did she go off to
No.
college? None of that.
Oh, well, that was just like the first love.
Okay.
Who knows if she really was
Since you
that.
went away, up and left me. Baby, come back.
So,
Can
according
you
to a new study,
hear
the
me
average.
calling for you. It's been too long and I lost without you. What am I gonna do?
Really,
when I
Larry,
need
we're
you?
live and your phone is.
It started singing with
Oh,
us.
is that what it was doing? Trying to make
Wondering if you're the
excuses.
same.
He has to do the dance moves
Who's
all the
been
time.
with
He's
you?
good at it.
Is
Is your
your
heart
heart still mine? Cry sometime.
What a
I
loss.
miss you.
She was so fine and talented.
So he's never had the one.
Yeah, okay,
Nah.
so the average chick will kiss 22 people before she finds the one, and the guy will kiss 25. So right around 22 people.
Okay, so that means that you can have sex with somebody and go, hey, let's not kiss. I don't want to waste my 25 on you.
Yeah.
Let's just have sex.
Just casual sex.
Right.
Because I can tell you right now, you're not the one.
Right.
You're the one for right now.
Right.
So the average age when you meet the person that you'll settle down with is 27.
Okay.
Bolty?
I'm 2 years past.
Yeah, jeez.
It's okay.
I think that.
I think you're going to be fine.
I think
Yeah, no.
yeah.
I think like Chris and I were in that zone.
27?
Yeah, he may have been 27. I don't know. I remember. I can't remember how old he was.
because it was you guys. I was in college.
Okay, so he was 22.
You probably right. Yeah. So
Wow, we've been together a long time.
yeah, you have.
It's awesome too, though. I just have to say this is like, he had some time off, and we were just spending a lot of time together lately, and like we only had one like couple moments of like getting on each other's nerves. I just so enjoy his company to this day. It almost makes me want to cry.
So cute.
Like it's just like we just so much. We still play around like we just. The first time we got together, you know what I mean? Still laugh as much, and
But there was a part of your relationship. Well, there was the part where it was bad and you guys broke up.
right, that was
messed
horrible
on me.
Well, we
Then
should
there
have
was-
seen our way through that, but
No. I think
we
you
kinda
both
had to do it.
Right. You did. Like you had to be outside of his house
Exactly.
crying.
Right.
He had to be outside of
In
your house crying.
right, for sure.
And I was the one getting the phone calls. I'm sitting outside. That guy's car is right there in front of me.
yeah, he's like,
He's not answering the phone.
I know it sucked, but I mean, again, like sometimes those where you go apart, make you realize what you had. And all
Makes
that.
it stronger.
Right.
For
Right,
sure.
right.
So the and then you guys had the phase. I mean, I want to say like, especially since you've been married, you guys have taken it to the always cool, because there was a while there where it was just nitpick.
Well, no,
nitpick.
I'm telling you, it was kind of like. I hate to say this, but like I'm so chill in the stoner department. Like I'm whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? I'm like free flow.
Right.
I'm not like so. It's like I think
And he's
sometimes
not.
right. He gets a little uptight or whatever. But I don't know. We just manage it, and it's like there was a time like over the weekend where we were just like arguing over something, and we realized it was so stupid what we were arguing over.
Yes.
That it was not going to make any difference. That we were still going to laugh and get along.
Right.
So,
So
it
who
just
stopped the argument?
we both kind of
Oh, you
did.
just
It
said
was
it's
just
stupid.
like right.
Right. See,
Right.
that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
when that
yeah.
happens. There's been times that I'm like, we never argue, so I'm holding on to this.
Right.
Woo, it feels good letting all this rage out. I hate you. You know, like that anger, like it makes you come alive for a minute.
Oh,
Your
no,
blood
for
starts
sure.
boiling. Okay, but enough about us. So the average age when you meet the person that you settle down with is around 27. That's after an average of 5 relationships that ended badly.
Okay.
Okay, you'll be the one doing the dumping in 3 of the situations, crying after 2 of them.
Okay, so it's always obviously a little bit better to be the one that's not as distraught.
Yeah.
If you had like a little bit of sometimes that happens when you saw the signs and you were knowing where this was headed, so you were kind of checking out as it was happening versus the person that was like, "We're breaking up."
Right.
Yeah.
There's
No.
that. Or
And-
there's the like there. I was in a few relationships where I was like, "This isn't the one. It's not going to last." But when it finally ends, you're like, "What?
Right.
What's wrong with you?"
It depends on
Yeah.
who gets the upper hand.
Like Trucker Greg.
Whoever.
I knew I wasn't going to end up with him.
Exactly,
He could
but-
barely spell.
I know, but the rejection of
The
him
rejection when he cheated.
was like it made you want him 100 times
Yes,
more.
and there
That's
I
a
am,
powerful button.
sitting there looking outside the window,
And you
wondering
didn't
if
even
he'll
want him.
drive by. And I
Yeah.
didn't want him.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
that comes a lot later in life too, and you're like, what was I thinking?
Totally.
And it's really, even if somebody nudges the rejection button a little bit. So if
powerful.
you have low self-esteem, you do the breaking up.
Yeah,
You need
yeah,
that
right.
a little burst of like, I need to move on, because it's like you're like I was telling I know a couple that just broke up, and she's devastated, and she's thinking. I was saying, don't think that because he's not crying or calling you every 5 minutes that
he's
he's
not
not
hurt.
sad.
Agreed.
He's definitely. You guys were together for a billion years.
Yeah.
There's no way he's not feeling
And
it.
they had a cool relationship,
Oh,
I
no,
thought.
for sure.
To me, it was like one of my favorite relationships.
Exactly.
Right.
So I was like, don't sweat it. He's just as busted up about it. But guys sometimes are better at hiding it.
You're the best at it. All of a sudden, oh, wow, look, there he is on Instagram with another girl at a club, the club we used to go to.
Yeah, we're like
Right.
squirrel, and we're all
That's exactly
you stop
it.
thinking about it.
So-
we can go do something.
So you're admitting Bolty Larry's lying. Guys, get over it really fast.
We are good at being with the bros and just figuring out ways to distract ourselves. Is really easy.
Sex
Okay,
will
but
be a
s-
distraction.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
but
just
are
know-
are you like, oh, I don't
No,
want
no,
to
no.
do this, I'm gonna do it.
No. It's like this. It's more like hey, yeah, I'm going to use this as a distraction. But as you're kissing that person, you have these like it's almost like a movie. You have flashbacks to the person you were with that you're maybe in your mind.
Really?
Where
Is that true?
Right.
For sure.
And you
Okay.
feel
You're
like,
really into them.
especially if you feel like you did it wrong. Like, let's say you're the one who messed it up. And then you're kissing this other person. You're like, what am I doing? And then you wake up in the middle of the night in their bed. And you're like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
And it
But
just
it doesn't stop you. You guys still stay in the bed. You're
I know,
pigs.
but I
You're
fell back
pigs, I
asleep.
tell
No,
you.
no. But I mean, it just isn't as easy as it looks,
Right.
as guys make it sometimes seem.
Yeah, it's just cover up.
Yeah, for real.
Still not buying it.
No. I mean,
I
but-
wish we were brave enough to be like, you know what? Because we will. It doesn't take long before our girls are like, come on, girl, we're going out.
I know.
And they throw some shots in you, and before you know it, you start going, oh, yeah, I remember this girl. I should
come on,
relax
honey.
a lot more.
You have to get out of your Mexicoma.
It's a Jello shot.
Right, and we get out of the coma, but the whole time it's still so sad.
No, for sure. And it's like it's.
I did some dumb stuff too, driving around the wrong neighborhood for 4 hours looking for his car.
And again, I love that you pointed out where we've all been in that situation where I was gonna leave anyway, but now that you broke up with me, I'm
sad.
110% in. It could have worked.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there was one time Trucker Greg and I had broken up, but we went to the same person to do our taxes or something, and he drove the semi, so he couldn't drive the semi into Loveland where we were whatever, white trash, here I am. So I'm driving the Camry at the time, and he's in the passenger seat, and I'm like, he starts telling me that he and the girl are happy, and I'm just like, oh my God. And I start driving so fast and reckless. Like, I'm like, what are you doing, Kathie? You're going to kill both of us? And then part of me is like,
Yes, I'm
going
gonna
to
go
kill
to
both of us. I hate you right now. But then you have the other side of you going, you didn't want to end up with him.
Right.
Let it go. But
Right.
then, yeah, my foot was on the pedal. I was like driving crazy. I was an idiot.
Well, and then it's like a lot of times you don't realize this then, but it's like they're on a, what do you call that when you're like, you leave somebody just to jump to somebody else.
The rebound.
Yeah,
Rebound.
rebound.
And those hardly ever work out.
Totally.
No.
So it's like sometimes you have to like remind yourself like, he's not as into this new
I
thing
know.
as he
You got to
is.
pray for time to make it all even out.
Exactly.
Right. 'Cause time happened, and he ended up cheating on her too. So made
Right.
me very happy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
And if you're listening, hi, Greg.
Oh yeah. What's up? What's up, Greg?
Nothing personal, dude. Just recounting the story. I thought you were awesome. Pretty blue eyes.
Oh my God, we slept outside of your apartment a couple of times in his car. You remember that?
No.
Oh, so
Why'd you guys sleep
stupid.
out there?
I remember his car was the size of a boat. Larry used to go, put the sail up. We're going to be slowing down up here and going right. He had one of those big old scary honker Cadillac things. I don't know. Anyways, so, and then 30% of single people have given up finding their soulmate. Have you given up finding your soulmate?
way.
No
Bolty?
way.
Totally.
He's way too young and handsome.
Right. I mean, I've given up finding my soulmate, but...
You're married.
You mean the black one. You found your white
I found my
soulmate.
white
Yeah, not a real
I didn't-
soulmate.
Right. You got a patch, a temporary patch.
And 45% of us still have hope. So both of you are in the hope, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think you have to hold out hope because there's a lot of people out there that, you just got to like figure out. I like I've posted before on social where people were just like, I've given up, you know what I mean? And it's like, if you put that mentality on and you don't put yourself out there, you will be that aunt that everybody's like, she never met anybody.
Right.
But
And then
she's
you get
still a great person.
But then you get stuck in your ways.
Oh, no,
And so it
trust
makes
me.
you even harder to help you find somebody.
No, for
Right,
sure.
'cause
Because
we all
you're
have
like
that aunt and you're just
self-sufficient.
way too picky.
She doesn't go to those movies. She only eats this.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, no wonder you can't meet anybody. It's like, no wonder, yeah.
Right, it's hard enough sometimes to be related to you.
That's
Yeah,
why.
right.
That's why the Lord made cats.
That's true.
When ordering a fresh meal delivery box, there are several choices.
We tried them all. Green Apron, Healthy Box, but all the portions were sort of small.
Yeah, and they include a lot of
You're listening to Larry and Kathie Radio.
Oh yeah, that's what they're called. Thank goodness we found Fat Box. Yeah, Fat Box features heavy meals Americans love, like Meat Lovers lasagna with blue cheese mashed potatoes, and Meat Lovers chimichangas with chicken Alfredo, and Meat Lovers meatloaf. That's a meatloaf with the meatloaf stuffed inside of it. If your family's like ours, you love cheese. Well, every Fat Box includes 2 giant blocks of Velveeta cheese-like product. And unlike those skinny boxes, Fat Box portions are huge. In fact, Fat Box is so big, it costs more to ship than the food inside. But who cares when you find out that every Fat Box is edible? That's right, you can even eat the box. Yeah, it's made out of a durable, delicious graham cracker crust. Simply open up the included caramel sauce and drizzle it all over your Fat Box. Hey, the Fat Box is here. Thank goodness, because I was starving. Go to fatbox.com and order your fat family a Fat Box today.
And now,
I know you guys are gonna photograph me. I know it makes a cool photo. I got a cool ass car. You know, I got a dope ass outfit on. It's all good.
Celebrity Trash and Bash.
With Larry, Kathie, and Wiggins.
Here's Kathie J.
So this guy, video game collector, found some drugs in an old Nintendo cartridge.
Oh wow! Somebody's like, "Oh, I'll put my Coke in here."
Totally.
And then they didn't. They sold
Where did I
it
put
eventually.
it? Right. The kid traded it with
Give it to
another friend.
Goodwill.
Who knows?
Right.
So a guy named Julian from Georgia, he's a video game collector, and he bought 2 old school Nintendo games at a flea market. So not traceable, probably
right.
stolen in the first place.
Right.
That's all you. I mean, that's when you get stuff at the flea market. Most of it's been stolen from somewhere.
My question is, does cocaine keep? Does it have an expiration date? You're like, do not do old cocaine.
Okay, but what about weed? Does weed keep?
I think that it would definitely have an expiration date.
It starts to get mold on it, right?
Yeah, you can
Or it
definitely
dries out to a point that it's not enjoyable.
Right.
But I mean, you can.
What are they finding there?
Okay, let me tell you.
Was it heroin?
I want to go back and talk about the weed expiring, but let's get to this.
Because I just found a pound of Mr. Big left in a trunk.
And it was in a mason jar, so is it cool? That's airtight.
There's some little fairies living in there.
Right. Okay, so 2 old school Nintendo games at a flea market. Golf and roller games. If you guys are old school Nintendo people, maybe you know. Golf was Nintendo's standard golf game. Roller games was based on a roller derby TV show. Okay. So when he got home, Julian discovered they were a lot heavier than the other games.
Right.
What's going on there? So he decided, I'm going to open these things up. I would have put it into the game to see if it played.
See if it still played. Maybe it did.
He was smart enough to open them up. So he opened them up with a screwdriver and he found that each one had 4 little shiny bags of drugs inside.
Whoa.
He called the cops and they came and took the games to investigate. It's entirely possible they were part of some old smuggling operation. The drugs are around 30 years old.
Okay, the thing
so they don't say, though, whether or not they could be used again.
Well, what kind of drugs?
Well, if they're in little baggies, I'm going cocaine. Yeah.
Okay, so then my question is, like, if that happened to me and I bought those, I would not call the police. You know what I mean? I would just, like, throw it away or laugh. I would post it on social media and go, check this out.
Right.
But I wouldn't call the police.
Especially something that's, like, this old.
Right.
You know, like, if it was, like, I found a bag and there happened to be all this money in it.
Right.
Somebody's coming for their money.
Right.
Because it's recent. But something like this, it's long gone.
Yeah, but if you're a black person, you're not calling the cops for any reason
At
other
all.
than
You're not.
help.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because I'm sorry, they're like,
they're going to say, oh, so
have some
is this
crack.
where you hid
Bang,
the crack?
bang,
Right.
bang, bang.
Exactly.
Right.
Horrible. It's not what you want.
Cool.
Did you hear about the 2 ladies on the flight on the plane together, and the one ended up adopting the other chick's baby?
No, during the flight?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
He's like, do you want it?
Do you want it?
She's all, does anybody want this crying baby or I'm going to kill it?
I'll have it.
Okay, kill it. That's a little.
Well,
but, you know, she's
I'm throwing it in the blue water in the toilet.
I'll trade you for some cartridges of cocaine. So the chick was only 24, Samantha. She's from Arkansas. Okay?
Samantha.
Yeah, so she was in a bad relationship and she found out she's pregnant. So she wasn't ready to have the kid. She's on a plane, and sitting next to her on the plane is this lady, right?
I can't have children.
Right?
Right, and this girl's like, I was about to throw myself down some stairs.
Right? Isn't this crazy?
I have one.
So here's the thing. So she was 8 months pregnant, and I don't know how she was on the plane. But there she is, sitting next to a lady who's older than her. They became instant friends. Their flight was only an hour long. They exchanged numbers, temple. The older lady.
I can't believe my life's over for this stupid thing that's growing in me. And the other lady's like, I would kill for a baby. I have nothing inside me.
Like, come on. To me, that's like...
Right. That's,
is it serendipitous? What do they say when things come together?
For sure.
3 days after the plane ride, that's when Samantha, the young girl, went into labor in a North Carolina hospital, and she gave birth to a healthy boy. Well, she told the lady, you want to come visit me? So she hadn't said yet, adopt my kid.
Okay.
So the lady comes to visit her, which is strange, but whatever. While she's there, that's when Samantha, the young girl, blurts out.
She said, get out. And she started crying. Get out. No. Take the baby and get out.
She did say, maybe you should just adopt the baby. And the older woman went, I've always wanted kids. I missed my window. Maybe I should. She said yes. They both started crying, and the lady has adopted the chick.
Did they just switch places?
Adopted the son.
Did they just, I was going to say they just switched places in the hospital.
She crawled into the bed.
Right, she wore her street clothes, and they're like, you look really good after that. Your vagina's completely healed.
Right,
that
fabulous.
Is insane.
That's great.
Never seen it before.
A little older than we remember, but... She named the little boy Vaughn, and now the younger mom gets to see Vaughn all the time because she moved closer to where the older mom and her son live, about an hour away from where they live, and she...
Get a room, you two. Why don't you just raise this kid together, you lesbians?
Like, that's really crazy that the older lady let her in. You know, like, that's like, move next to us and be around his life. Like, I wouldn't want that. I'm sorry.
Right. Like you want to know that the person's
is
not
gone,
right, for
and
sure,
not coming back, and not going to want to see you.
I would like,
but they both are brunette.
I would keep it open like they did, in case the kid was an asshole.
Guess what, Samantha?
You're coming. You can have him back.
Now you're 30. He's coming back to you. And finally, a guy got out of jail and didn't want to wait for his ride. So he stole one of the bikes that was right there and promptly got arrested again.
Damn it.
Idiot.
Fresh out.
Dumb. So, 20, you're just out of jail, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
you're like, I finally can breathe some air.
It is what it is.
I got to keep my life straight because you still have to see a PO and all that.
29-year-old gay guy. A 29-year-old guy named Jonathan Bentley.
Who left jail gay.
Got released from jail the other day in Louisiana, okay? Not clear what he was in for, how long he'd been in there, but the jail was 25 miles from his house. So a cop drove him to the county line, which was cool of the cop.
That was really nice.
Dropped him off so another cop could come and get him and take him the rest of the way. That is unheard of.
Yeah.
Really nice.
But that tells me something.
That he's
tells
good
me in jail he was giving that guard a little right.
So you're saying he did that to get to the county line?
The whole drive.
And then
he's like, you're going to have to do this to that other guy.
Right. For 10 miles.
Right.
The other guy's got 15
I told him you were amazing.
So the second cop didn't show up right away because, I don't know, they have other things to do than transport people. Jonathan was alone, sick of waiting. So he just started walking, right? So that's cool. Start walking. That's
I know, but then you
do.
like kind of stiffed that cop who was going to go help you.
I know, but don't you think you'd run into the cop coming in your way?
Either way.
I don't know. But then he saw a bike sitting in someone's yard, decided to steal it and ride it the rest of the way home.
Hey, some guy just stole my bike.
And the cop who was on his way to pick him up drove past him a few minutes later, knew exactly what he looked like.
Hey, there's that guy who was supposed to give a ride.
Wow, and he's got a bike. I wonder how he got the bike.
Wow.
Idiot. Asked where he got the bike. And he said, yeah, get in. I'll give you a ride. And took him right back to jail.
Wow.
Oh, what an idiot.
And his rapey cellmate was like, ooh, look who's back.
Right. Oh.
Mr. No Gag Reflex.
Oh, God. You're listening to Larry and Kathie Radio.
New home assistants are all the rage, but can cost hundreds of dollars. Now there's Alexicon. Like Alexa, Alexicon can help control your entire house, but for way less.
Alexicon, play Britney Spears.
Britney's played out. Here's some Snowther product. She's way better.
Alexicon can be paired with any Bluetooth device.
Alexa can start my car. Oh, you think just because I'm a Mexican I know how to hotwire a car? Psst, please out. I'm starting it for you.
Alexicon can also control your home lighting. Alexicon, turn lamp on.
Are you really that lazy you can't get up and turn on a lamp? Stop.
Alexicon can also order products for delivery.
Alexicon, order toilet paper.
Oh, gross. That's nasty. Order your own caca paper. Ugh.
Alexicon, she's like Alexa, but not really.
I'm way better. I'll kick that bitch's ass.
You're listening to Larry and Kathie Radio.
Rise and shine.
Larry and Kathie Radio. Every morning.
All right, so Kathie, how was New York?
Oh, well, I mean, jet setting like I do. LA last week, New York LA 2 weeks ago, New York last week. I mean, I don't know how to keep up with it.
How was the weather?
The weather was actually hella good. Like, it was like summer in the city. It was like temperatures of like 77. It was really awesome. So everybody was kind of in a good mood.
NYC, what is it about you?
Totally.
You're hot, you're cold, too late, I'm sold.
You know what I did? So I haven't like ever really been to the city probably, I don't know, like under 10 times.
Okay.
Okay?
My
whole
it's
life.
amazing. Have you ever been there,
No,
Bolty?
I've never been.
Okay.
It's like kind of like it's like 100 downtowns.
Yes.
Like you step outside of your hotel and you look to the right and it's all skyscrapers.
Yes.
You look to the left, it's all skyscrapers. And then in between all these amazing delis and little Italian restaurants, down some stairs.
Things that you don't even recognize until all of a sudden you have a chance to sit and focus and go, oh my God, that's a restaurant.
Right, that's crazy.
Right. And so the first couple times that I went alone, it was intimidating. The one time I made your husband Chris come with me because he's Mr. Travel Guy.
Right, Kathie.
So
the first time Kathie got arrested for looking like a hooker in Times Square. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I think the first time I did have Chris go with me.
Right.
Right, and because I didn't know the first thing about getting a cab because that's all very intimidating,
Yeah.
No, it's
But
very bustling.
Christopher's like, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's like,
he's a good traveler.
Right. So we got in so Chris was with me that first time. So the second time I was with some people and I kind of like ventured into, this is Central Park and okay, this is kind of cool. And then I've been there a couple times, but this time, since the weather was so nice, I got in at like 6:30, got to my hotel around 7:30. My hotel was like 3 blocks from Central Park, was right next to Trump Tower, so it was like down in the cool area.
Cool.
And so, since the weather was so nice, I was like, well, I have to find some pizza. I mean, that's,
For sure.
So I
Did
totally...
you use a Yelp or a...
Yeah, well, not Yelp. I just went and said pizza slices near me,
Right.
Immediately was like 7 different slices.
Right. That's why you'd be like, whose is liked the most? or
Totally,
whatever.
right.
And by the way, this is your junket for the new Amy Schumer movie,
Yes.
which you will get to that part because that movie looks funny.
I Feel Pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It's about if you truly think it, then people will react to you that way.
It's the confidence.
Yes.
Right, exactly. And it's like you fake the funk or whatever.
Right.
But she gets hit on the head or something and she's got this all of a sudden this big jolt of self-esteem. My question is, in the movie, does she see a hotter version?
Yes.
Okay.
So she looks in the mirror and thinks she's Kate Hudson.
Okay.
Okay, and so she acts like she's Kate Hudson.
Right. Has all the confidence.
Totally.
And everybody around her's like, excuse me?
And that's what the movie is people are like she'll be like, are you seeing this? I know I look fabulous. And everyone's like people don't even respond because they don't know how to.
It's still Amy.
Yeah, it's still Amy Schumer. They're like, no,
Right, like I like when the clip in the trailer where she like
after she hits her head.
Right, and she sees her 2 friends and she's like, it's me. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's you. But then their reaction to her being weird, she
equates that with
yes, I know. They're weirded out by how fine I am.
Right.
So anyways, so I put on like my hoodie and I take a black hoodie when I travel.
Right.
So I put that on, put my hood up, and I totally wandered through the city till like 11 o'clock at night.
She's like, I wear gloves.
I know,
that sounds
definitely
like she's gonna get
I went outside like Carnegie
hoodie.
Hall. I went, I totally tried to just blend in and see it.
Oh yes, Kathie's walking down. She's like, hey, screw you, up yours.
Exactly.
Cut me off. I'm a freaking pedestrian. Up yours. You mean
totally
real New Yorker?
I wasn't crossing the street where the crosswalks were. I was just going.
That's awesome.
It was funny.
Your hotel looked amazing.
The hotel was freaking amazing. That bathtub. Finally, there was a bathtub that can cover all of this in water, which was awesome. Because usually,
where you can submerge everything.
Right. You take a bath and sometimes your knees are poking out. Or no,
you have to choose what's going to be cold for a second.
Right. Everything was submerged. And there was a TV in there with me. It was awesome. But. So the movie, the I Feel Pretty.
No wonder you wanted my husband to go with you.
I did. Mm-hmm. Well, no, I actually because I know
every time you take my husband to a hotel room, I do stuff with your husband just to make sure.
I know my husband reminded me because I said something about when we went to Iceland, your husband and me, and my husband was like, "Yeah, you were sharing a room with your ex and." I was in Larry's living room with a stripper pole and a male butt in my face.
I was there.
There was like
you were there.
There
weren't
was
you?
no butts too, so it wasn't. I wasn't like trying to force people.
Larry's
like,
nice. He gets us a female stripper too.
That
well,
was
actually,
nice.
Phil was in charge of female stripper, and they were really nice. They were like, they were so
Do you wanna touch
supportive.
him?
They were so support. No, I didn't. In fact,
No, I meant is that what they were saying, like bolting
Oh.
stuff.
No,
I'm so proud of you guys for being straight and being here and supporting your gay friend. Would you like to touch my boobies?
it wasn't like that. They were mostly like really supportive of the male strippers. It was
Okay.
like two people in the industry that ran into each other, and they were like tipping those male strippers like crazy.
Are
They
you
were more
kidding?
skilled. The male strippers had more talent.
Right, and they could
Wow.
like they were like Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
But Phil tried to get me to sit in this chair while this girl was going to do like a cartwheel and land on my face, and I was like, wrong. And
So who did you put in the chair to have the
I
cartwheel?
paid her.
Well, I just threw the money out, and I was like, I can't do that. And then Phil's all, why? He was mad, and I was like, let one of the guys do that to you. And he's like, I get it.
I get it.
sense.
I'm out. I get it. That's not gonna happen. I get it. But you didn't let any of your straight friends get the cartwheel
no, they
hoochie
did.
in their face?
They did.
Okay. Okay.
Trust me. That there was probably more straight guys here than there were gay guys.
Yeah.
I just
For
remember
sure.
FaceTiming with you in Iceland. Chris FaceTimed you.
Right.
And you were like, honey.
I'm
Yeah,
all,
you
there's
say
a bunch
that.
of naked guys in our
And then you were
house.
like, don't be mad. And Chris looked at me and he was like, why? And he looked at the camera and you were like,
there's strippers
because I
everywhere.
know.
Oh.
You go, because I may have installed a stripper pole.
Oh, yeah.
And you showed the ceiling where the bolts were into the ceiling.
Right,
to
you had
hold
to
the
screw it
pole.
in because they were doing their Cirque du Soleil.
Oh my God. And Chris was like, what?
We filled the holes.
Yeah.
Right.
You drilled the hole.
Yeah.
No, he said we filled the
filled them
hole.
up.
Oh, you filled them. I'm sorry.
And then we repaired where the thing was screwed in.
No,
Repainted
you-
it.
We filled the holes.
Yeah, so anyways.
Anyway, so you're going to be able to give us like a actual review of the movie and how
Oh, yeah.
the interview went.
Well, it
in a little
opens
bit.
this Friday,
Oh,
the
okay.
20th.
Cool.
Oh my God, 420 is this Friday.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
So hopefully we can air some of that interview.
Yeah,
that you
we'll
had
air
with
some of
her.
the interview. She remembered me.
Oh yay!
Which is so
Yes.
exciting.
I was excited
Yeah.
for that because
I was.
Yeah, because I asked you because you met her a couple times. I was like, she's hopefully at one of these times she's going to remember you.
I prayed. And you know what? She's really good. Like, she's like an Oprah. Like, she immediately says your name back. So you feel, so she's really good at letting you think she might remember you. So I don't know, but
I know, but
I'm
we-
going with she remembered me.
We need you in her crew because you would fit so well with her as a friend and all the same jokes
I
and
know.
stuff. So it'd be kind of cool if you could make that happen because then when you're friends with Jennifer Lawrence,
Right.
then you'll be able to get us to like all kinds of stuff.
Right, and Bolte really wants me to be friends with Jennifer
Yeah.
Lawrence. But I started the interview off, you'll be so happy, Larry. I started the interview off talking about you and Chris.
Oh, nice.
Because I sit down and I slate, and it's so nerve-wracking when you walk in the room. You have 4 minutes.
Right.
You know, people
There's this
right.
person,
You have to
A-lister.
watch out where you're standing because
Right.
there's all these boom mics everywhere. The light can hit you in the head. So you always, and it's just really strange how you walk into the room.
It's
to sit
very
and get
quiet
comfy.
and everybody, it's
Everyone's
like,
staring at
let's be
you.
quiet.
Right.
Let's all talk like
And they're like, this is Kathie from
Let's
Denver.
slate.
So she's saying hi and stuff. And so I sit down and I realized she's wearing the hotel slippers for
That's
this interview,
hilarious.
right? And I go, very comfy. I like it. She goes, hey, they're not seeing my feet. And I go, you know what? I just got yelled at the other day for wearing my flats, my athleisure shoes on TV. And she goes, you did? Who yelled at you? I go, oh, well, it was my gay friends. And she goes, oh, yeah, they're going to yell at you. They don't like flats.
Thank you. Thank you. It was
She
like,
goes, that's how you know the difference between a heterosexual guy and a gay guy. Because your gay friends are going to call you.
He's gonna
on
notice
it.
that.
so it was so funny. We were watching the Everyday Show, and you looked great. Your hair was on point.
Thanks.
Your outfit was on point, and so this girl was showing you clothes.
I know.
And so there was like these clothes, that clothes,
And I
then
didn't know they were going down
Right.
to the shoes.
So then all of a sudden she's all, and then we have these shoes, and there went the camera, and there was Kathie wearing some sort of like
Crocs.
No, they were my black.
They're kind of like
Right.
Chuck Taylor
No.
flat, like boat shoe or something like that. And it was just like you could have heard, like, sometimes on the distance you hear somebody slam on the brakes before they crash into something.
Right.
That's exactly what my brain heard when we saw those shoes. And Chris and I both, at the same time, Chris and I were like, ooh. And then I was like, I was gonna tell her just myself, and I was like, nope, I have to include Chris on this three-way text because if I do it,
I'm like, you're a jerk.
Yeah, you're a dick.
I know how you
stupid
feel about the
brother.
heels.
Right. And then so if I include Chris, then she knows it's a gay thing.
Right.
It's not me being
very normal.
brother.
Yeah.
Right. So all of a sudden, he's like, what? Is she doing that? And he's like, and I was watching yesterday, and they showed her feet, and she had those same kind of shoes on. I was like, oh my God, can she have? I go, we're asking her to wear heels for 1 hour, and she's not even walking anywhere.
Right. Most of the time, I'm sitting on the couch.
Right, and it's 3 steps to the cooking segment, or 4 to the shoe segment.
All right, I can.
Hey, so I made the Schumer interview. Yay.
Yeah, right. I hope it made it on tape because it was
cool.
great when I sat down.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so she says it really fast, and then I went into. It's been 3 years since I first met you. In 3 years, you've had 3 movies, 2 relationships. One of them is now a marriage. So I just talked to her about that. And then I talked to her about being a stand-up comedian because all eyes are on you. Like, that's got to be very... You got to have a very vulnerable position. And
I've heard Seinfeld when he does his show about comedians and cars with coffee, and he's had Amy Schumer on, but he talks about how you could be the biggest person in business and still bomb or get a heckler still.
Yeah.
And so you still have to be ready for that. You know
right,
what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm. And your self-esteem has to be ready. But the movie... I mean, definitely every girl needs to see this, right? Regardless of your age, you need to go see it. But on the other side, you guys are going to love it because it's still Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
Right. So you love the humiliation that she is,
awesome.
and how she lives. But she totally ends up in, the cosmetic world of New York City.
Oh, that's cool.
Because even though she...
in the movie clip, the trailer, Naomi Campbell's
in it and
stuff like that.
And Michelle Williams is in it. Right. And so she's totally... I mean, but yeah, she hits her head, and just the fact that she's like, oh my God. And it's stupid things. Like, she walks by, a construction site, and the guy, the foreman, has his head turned, and he's whistling to his friend to stop running the machine.
Yeah.
And she's like, stop it, you guys. Things like that, And
was this her idea, this movie, or did something?
No, actually, it was written by Busy Phillips. Who, she's another actress.
Right.
It was written by her husband, who has wrote Never Been Kissed.
Oh, okay.
He's wrote, I think Valentine's Day. So he's totally rom-com.
She's the perfect person.
And her people read it and said, you need to do this movie. And she totally was like, yeah, this is me. But she ad-libbed a lot of it.
Oh, that you could tell. Mm-hmm. You could tell because it's a perfect role for her because that's kind of what she says in her stand-up.
Totally.
And her other movies.
And so I asked her, the bikini contest. Okay, because
she's all
dude, when that bikini contest starts, I'm in the theater feeling awkward for her. Oh God, don't be showing that, Amy.
Her belly's all
right. And so I asked her, I said, did you have to do some shots before you did that scene, And she was like, no, I don't actually drink before any of my scenes. I think it's unprofessional. And in my head, I'm like, I could, what?
Right.
And I started thinking about all her scenes in movies over the past, and I was like, really? You don't do a shot of anything before some of the crap that you do?
She's ballsy.
Yeah, she is.
I definitely would do a shot before a sex scene.
Right. Something.
Where you have to kiss a stranger or something. You have to pretend you're in love.
But it's kind of sucked because I had to also, the other room was Busy Phillips, and she was paired with Sashir, who is the African American comedian who left Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay,
she's
so
great.
She's really pretty.
Yeah.
And she's the one that's with Amy Schumer when she hits her head at Soul Cycle, right?
Right.
So I started out with them, and I was like, you guys have looked like this your whole lives. You really mean to tell me that you've had an issue with self-esteem?
Right.
Come on. And they almost wanted to carry the flag for the fact that you could be hot and still have self-esteem issues, and so it ate up all of my time. But Busy Phillips talked about, because she has a lot of moles on her neck and stuff. Okay. She talked about when she first started, they had to airbrush them off. They told her to lose weight, blah blah blah. But in my head, I'm still I still don't think you get it.
You're right.
I still don't think you get the other life. So, and then Sashir was, and then they started talking about Sashir was like, well, you know what? When I was first a comedian, like I like to wear dresses and I like to look good, and people would make me feel bad for wanting to look good on stage because apparently you can't be an attractive comedian.
Right. They want you to just be
And
jeans.
I was like, no, you can't. You have to have something wrong with you. That's why comedians are so good at
flawed.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like, but now I wear my dresses and stuff, and I still felt like they still didn't understand the real world of being ugly.
Right, for sure. It's
or not having the right outfit, or being a little out of shape,
Nothing's worse than the hot girl saying she feels fat, and you're like, really, bitch?
Right. So I still was like,
I'll show you fat.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to some of those clips.
Yeah,
later
I'll
this
have
week.
the interviews later in the week.
I'm definitely going to see the movie.
Yeah, no, I think you got to. You'll like it. And there's some good stuff.
Chris and I went and saw Blockers, which was hilarious.
Oh yeah, John Cena.
Yeah, hilarious.
And Leslie Mann.
Super funny. And
okay, but all the way funny, or was most of the funny in the trailer?
It was predictable. It wasn't as good as a Superbad.
Okay.
It wasn't like that instant classic, but still enough funny over the top parts to make it worth it.
Okay.
And then like you get to see John Cena naked. And,
you do?
Yeah.
Like his butt?
Yeah, and it looks like...
Does he look like Arnold Schwarzenegger did when he was naked?
Kind of like
the Terminator
like
when he
half
lands?
nice butt, but half rhinoceros. You know what I mean?
Muscle butt.
Exactly.
Muscle
Right,
muscle
like it's
body.
big and round and smooth.
Right.
So I mean, but it's big. It's
but
like,
it's gonna like it bounce you right off of it. It's got like a force field of toughness on it.
But now you get to see what that one wife sees.
Nikki Bella.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
what
totally.
she puts her hands around as she pulls them into her.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what you.
If
think.
her arms are long
I
enough.
was gonna say.